Okay, I think I gotta slow down.
What you see here is an underrated and also overperforming sedan that you have likely never heard of, and it's just been updated. This is the 2020 Jaguar XE, and in this video I'll show you everything that's new and some things that have not changed, and also a couple of things that are missing. Come on. The obvious bit is actually the styling that's changed. The whole car now looks a little bit sleeker, a little bit lower to the ground. They're brand new fascias, front and rear, LED lights, front and back. And I think this is the strongest part of this sedan. There's one engine and two power levels. What you see here is the base model, and it's rated at 247 horsepower and 269 pound-feet of torque. It still made it to the 8-speed ZF automatic transmission, and the MPG ratings are still the same, 28 MPG combined. You can also step up to a higher power level in this 2-liter turbo to 296 horsepower and 295 pound-feet of torque with all-wheel drive. At least initially for 2020, there are a couple of things missing. Yes, you still get this 2-liter turbocharged gas engine, but the turbo diesel is no longer available. Neither is the 3-liter supercharged V6.
All right, let's go for a ride. This is a global launch of the XE, and it's in the south of France. It's very exciting. Oh yeah. This is a lower power level, 247 horsepower output on this 2-liter. It's the same as before, but it's still very strong, and it's actually a very lightweight car. The starting curb weight is just over 3,300 pounds, so that's plenty of power to move this car around. Of course, you can also get all-wheel drive with this power level as well, or you can step up to the higher power level in the 296 horsepower version. The 2020 XE is going to be available in the summer of 2019, just a couple of months away. I really like what they've done with the styling, but as soon as you put this car into dynamic mode, it just gets a little bit more pippy. The steering tightens up a little bit, and just the transmission mapping is just more crisp. I would keep it in dynamic mode the entire time if I could. I think dynamically the suspension is set up just right. It's not too harsh and it's not too soft. Yes, it may not be quite the ultimate driving machine like the BMW 3 Series, but for this segment in the entry-level luxury sports sedan, it's just got the right feeling.
The biggest difference is actually here inside the car, and you can tell it immediately. There's a brand new steering wheel. It feels really good in your hand. There's a brand new center console with this fancy dual screen setup. You've seen this before in the Range Rover Velar, and now it's here in the XE. The rotary dial transmission shifter is gone. It's replaced by this joystick looking thing, and I think that's good. And finally, there's a wireless charger for your phone. And as well as premium materials all the way around, I think this is a really good place to be. Also new is this rear camera mirror, and the camera is actually mounted on the roof inside the antenna, and I really like this feature. Yes, your eye kind of has to refocus a little bit, but it's very clear, it's wide view, and you can adjust its brightness, and you can adjust how high or low it is. All right, time to get into the more powerful version of the XE. This is the one with 296 horsepower and all-wheel drive. And it starts at about 46,000, a little bit more than that. Ooh, I can tell it's more powerful. Yes, as soon as you add, about 50 horsepower or about 20% more power to a car, you can tell. All-wheel drive also helps, not just for bad weather driving, but just to put the power down properly and to have more of a performance machine. By the way, Jaguar rates the lower powered XE at 6.2 seconds, 260 miles an hour acceleration, and this one at 5.4. It's not class-leading acceleration, but still, it's a lot of fun. Oh yeah. Yes. Okay, I really have to go back to dynamic mode, and it's the best mode. It's not too harsh. The suspension is set up soft enough to where it's really usable as a daily car. Dynamic mode doesn't change the harshness or stiffness of the shocks. It just modifies the throttle mapping, the transmission mapping, and the steering gets a little bit more heavy. Oh yeah. Yes. Cornering, accelerating, this car has what it takes. The toughest part of the equation is actually the competition, because this is a very tough crowd. I'm talking about the Mercedes C-Class, BMW 3 Series, Audi A4, Acura TLX, Infiniti Q50, of course there's the Lexus IS. And for 2020, the Jaguar XE is priced higher than before by about $3,000 at $39,900 for the rear-wheel drive version. Then if you want all-wheel drive, that car is about $41,900 to start. And then if you want the higher power level in a 2-liter, that car starts at about $46,000. Of course, the car you see here has the R Dynamic package as well. So the pricing can increase, but the price is mid-pack. It's not the most affordable, and it's also not the most expensive. But I think what makes the XE stand out, it's actually its styling. So you gotta check it out. Go back to TFLcar.com for more news, views, and real-world car reviews.